milkshake. So I wanted to do a little demo and review of the raspberry milkshake soap. And this actually came out last year, but if you remember, it was shaped more like a, actual slice of soap. And this year, they kind of molded it into the shape of what a raspberry looks like. I do like the look of it. I think it is really cute, and it does have the same price as it did last year, which is $9.95. This is made with Davana oil as well as fresh raspberry juice, and I had to look up what Davana oil kind of smelled like just to get an idea, and it's described as a sweet fruity scent. They also had it described as an herbaceous wine-like smell, which does kind of go hand in hand, I think, with raspberries. You think like raspberries, raspberry wine, that kind of thing. I did see a lot of people were kind of questioning whether or not this year's raspberry milkshake smells the same as last year's. And I can say, because I still have a bar from last year, and I did notice in the ingredients this year it is lacking Sicilian lemon oil as well as vanilla absolute. So to my nostrils, I feel like it doesn't smell exactly the same. I feel like this year's isn't quite as sweet, so maybe that's because it doesn't have the vanilla absolute in it. I can't say for sure, but to my nose, I do feel like there is a bit of a scent difference there. So we are going to get this lathered and see if it still feels the same and still performs the same. So let's get our water turned on. So I'm just going to wet the bar and my hands, and we're just going to lather it up in my hands for now, just to kind of get a feel for the lather. Like if you're going to just use this as a hand soap that you set by your bathroom sink or your kitchen sink or anything like that. You can see it's lathering up, just a nice, like very pretty pink color. That's not going to work, Michelle. So I do feel like this still feels really creamy, really soft on the skin. So definitely seems to be performing as well as last year's bar soap. And the scent, like I said, it still smells fantastic. I still really love the smell of it, but it isn't precisely like 100% the same fragrance. So let me get my hands rinsed off, see how they feel after I dry them, and then we'll get some in our loofah. Alright, so I got my hands dried off. My hands feel really nice and soft and beautifully fragranced. So we're going to take our bar of soap and get it in our loofah, lathered up, and see what kind of lather we get. Look at that pretty pink. That is so pretty. I do really like that. So we're getting lots of those creamy, sudsy lathers. Yeah, this is definitely how I remember last year. Just how well it lathered up. It just made a whole lot of beautiful foam. So I'm gonna make my arm wet. I'm gonna lather some on my arm skin, and we're gonna see how that feels. I'm making a mess. Such fun. Alright, let's get this rinsed off. Alright, so as with my hands, my arm skin feels really nice and soft. So if you did like last year's raspberry milkshake, I definitely would consider purchasing this one as well. It definitely performs just as nicely as last year's does, and it still smells really, really good. So I'm actually going to cut my bar in half just so we can see a little bit better of the insides, and that's kind of how I like to use my soaps anyway. I don't like to just carry the whole bar in with me to the shower or to the bath. So let's get our cutting board and we're gonna slice it on in half. So here is just a fun look at the inside of our raspberry milkshake soap. So obviously you don't have to cut the bars if you do not want to, but I like to just take in a chunk at a time. So I still have some left over, and that way when the water isn't completely just going over it, it kind of helps save some as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little sink side demo of the raspberry milkshake. You'll have to let me know if you picked one up this year and how you felt about it. Do you think it smells like the one from last year or no? So let me know down in the comments, and I will see you next time.